Okay, let's just dive right into this. Have you ever noticed how those really restrictive diets always seem to have an expiration date? You know what I mean? You white-knuckle it for a few weeks, doing everything perfectly, and then life just gets in the way. Well, welcome to this explainer. Today, we are completely shifting the paradigm. We're looking at the ultimate blueprint for sustainable weight loss. And the absolutely crucial point I want you to take away right from the jump is this. Long-term success doesn't come from temporary restriction. It comes from building a resilient, long-term system that actually works with your life, not against it.
So here is our roadmap for today's explainer. We've got 6 highly actionable steps pulled straight from the CDC, Cedars-Sinai, and other leading health experts. Building a sustainable system, defining your why, setting smart weight goals, mastering your macros, the meal prep playbook, and finally, tracking and staying consistent. Let's get into it.
All right, step 1, building a sustainable system, or as I like to call it, surviving 6 p.m.
Seriously, why do most diets absolutely crash and burn at 6 p.m.? Well, think about your typical Tuesday. By the time evening rolls around, you're exhausted from work, your blood sugar is tanking, and you're suffering from massive decision fatigue. If healthy food isn't already the absolute easiest default option sitting right there in your fridge, that takeout menu is inevitably going to call your name, right? Building a system, like meal prepping, is literally your ultimate defense against this exact moment. It takes a decision completely out of your hands.
Moving right along to step 2, defining your why, building the foundation.
The CDC is super clear on this. Before you even step foot in the kitchen or look at a calorie calculator, you have got to understand your core motivation. You need an anchor for when things get tough. And I want you to consider this one, highly encouraging number, 5%. According to the CDC, you don't need to drop 50 pounds to see life-changing medical results. Losing just 5% of your total body weight, which for a 200-pound person is literally just 10 pounds, massively improves your blood pressure, lowers your cholesterol, and significantly drops your risk for chronic conditions like heart disease and type 2 diabetes. Reminding yourself of those immediate internal health benefits, that is an incredibly powerful why.
Okay, step 3, setting smart weight goals. Think process over perfection. We really need to make a massive mindset shift here. Outcome goals, like saying, I'm going to lose 50 pounds, are incredibly distant and honestly pretty daunting. Process goals, on the other hand, like I'm going to walk 10,000 steps today, are highly actionable. Aiming for this unrealistic, rapid weight drop almost always leads to frustration, feeling defeated, and eventual burnout. Actually, data from Withing's research backs this up. Focusing on daily behavioral process goals is the proven scientific strategy for keeping weight off long-term. Look, you can't just wake up and magically command the scale to go down, but you can absolutely control whether you hit your step count or eat your vegetables today.
Next up, step 4, mastering your macros, understanding your fuel. So, total calories absolutely dictate whether or not you lose weight. But your macronutrients, your carbs, your proteins, and your fats, those dictate how you actually feel and function while you're losing it. Getting this fuel mix right is absolutely crucial. Cedars-Sinai actually recommends a specific macronutrient ratio for healthy weight loss. We're talking 40 to 50% carbohydrates to supply your body with essential energy. Next up, 30% protein, which, by the way, is your absolute best friend for keeping you full and repairing muscle tissue. And finally, 20 to 30% healthy fats, which you literally need for regulating your hormones and absorbing key vitamins.
Now we need to talk a little bit more about those carbs, because they get a bad rap. But not all carbs are created equal. Simple carbs, like your baked goods, pastries, white bread, they digest super fast. They cause a massive sugar rush, followed by an inevitable crash and major fatigue. Complex carbs, on the other hand, like whole grains, quinoa, sweet potatoes, they digest slowly. They provide you a steady, sustained energy and actually keep you feeling full. Reaching for complex carbs is exactly what keeps you off that miserable hunger roller coaster.
And when you're actually out there navigating the grocery store aisles, Cedars-Sinai gives us these 3 golden rules for reading nutrition labels. First, the grams of protein absolutely must be higher than the total grams of sugar. Second, aim for less than 8 grams of sugar per serving. And third, watch out for hidden sugars in foods that are heavily marketed as healthy. You know the ones, flavored Greek yogurts, boxed cereals. If you just run through this quick mental checklist, you'll instantly be able to spot the better brands right there on the shelf.
All right, step 5, the meal prep playbook, execution.
This is where the rubber meets the road. We're taking all of this nutritional theory and translating it into a tangible, time-saving weekly routine that literally anyone can do. Now, if you are a beginner, Please do not try to make a complicated 7-day gourmet menu out of the gate. Just start right here, the 3+1 model. That is simply 3 main meals and 1 snack per day. It's an incredibly basic structure, but man, does it work. It keeps your hunger constantly in check, it stabilizes your metabolism, and it completely eliminates the daily headache of wondering what to eat. It's just a totally reliable template you can plug your healthy foods into.
And to pull this off, you really don't need a restaurant-grade kitchen. You just need these core essentials. Glass storage containers. They're tough, they won't stain when you inevitably put tomato sauce in them, and they are microwave safe. A large baking sheet. This right here is your absolute MVP for one-pan roasting, which massively cuts down on your cooking and cleaning time. And arguably the most important, a food scale. Guessing your portion sizes is honestly one of the fastest ways to stall your progress. A food scale completely eliminates the guesswork and guarantees that 4 ounces of chicken is actually 4 ounces.
Check out this workflow. You can actually condense an entire week's worth of cooking into a single, highly efficient 2-hour session just by multitasking. Step 1, fire up the oven for your proteins and your hearty vegetables. Step 2, get your grains like rice or quinoa simmering on the stovetop. Step 3, while all that big stuff is cooking, use that downtime to wash and chop your fresh veggies and prep your snacks. And finally, step 4, cool and pack. It's basically a perfect stress-free assembly line.
Now, as you are packing all this up, remember this critical food safety rule. Please pay attention to this one. 2 hours. You should never, ever leave your freshly cooked food sitting out at room temperature for more than 2 hours. Once your food is cooled down completely, get it straight into the fridge to prevent any bacteria from growing and to keep your meals tasting fresh.
You might want to grab a screenshot of these guidelines for storage and reheating. Cooked chicken or beef is safely stored for 3 to 4 days. And here's a great pro tip, reheat it with a damp paper towel over it in the microwave so it doesn't get all dry and rubbery. Roasted vegetables stay good for 4 to 5 days, and those are definitely best reheated in an oven or an air fryer to get their crispiness back. And cooked grains last 4 to 6 days, to sprinkle a little water on them before you microwave to add that moisture back in. This totally ensures all your hard work actually tastes great all week long.
Finally, step 6, tracking and staying consistent way beyond the scale.
Because building a sustainable weight loss system goes far, far beyond what's happening in your kitchen or whatever number you happen to see on the scale. This blew my mind. A highly revealing data point from Withings shows that 66.5% of users who average less than 7 hours of sleep a night are overweight. Over 66%. This proves that sleep, recovery, and stress management are absolutely vital, foundational parts of your system. If you aren't tracking your sleep and taking care of your rest, your body's hormones will literally fight against your weight loss efforts, regardless of how perfectly you master those macros.
So I want to end this explainer with a provocative question for you to ponder today. How will you reset your environment so that health becomes your default choice? Willpower is a finite resource. It drains as the day goes on. But a well-built system, that just runs on autopilot. Whether you use a simple pen and paper or you leverage modern AI meal planning tools to totally automate your grocery lists and recipes, the entire goal is to eliminate the guesswork. Thank you so much for joining me today. Take these strategies, go start building your sustainable system, and make healthy eating the absolute easiest part of your day.